Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Balance Muse, where we talk about wealth, wisdom, and creating a greater sense of well-being. So today, I'm going to talk about the recent trade deals that Trump has just been making in the Middle East and how that affects our finances, especially the finances of women in the U.S. So I wanted to go ahead and open up my AI, my chat boxes, so I can go over the notes summarizing what I was thinking of, what ChatGPT was thinking of, and we create an analysis together that kind of summarizes all of our thoughts. So the first thing that I did was I wanted to summarize what exactly happened during the Middle East trip for Trump. Okay, so the impact of Trump's recent trade deals with Saudi Arabia. President Trump's administration recently secured a landmark $600 billion with a B investment agreement with Saudi Arabia, which includes $142 billion arms deal and substantial partnerships in technology and infrastructure. These deals are designed to reinforce the long-standing U.S.-Saudi alliance and to deepen economic interdependence, particularly in emerging technologies and defense. This strategic engagement achieves several objectives. First, it strengthens U.S. leverage. Second, it deters BRICS de-dollarization, so that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and their partnership nations. And then it limits China's sway. I just wanted to give a summary of what was going on to see, thinking forward, how this affects our investments, how this affects you as an employee, as you're trying to move from an employee mindset to an investor mindset, how this affects us. So after I take that little bit of summarization, I write down my own notes, I give them the chat GPT, and then we think of different ways that it could specifically affect me as a woman and also as a woman of color. This is what we came up with. And of course, it always gives it in a style that is just like a conversational style. So I'm just going to go ahead and read those notes to you. So the first thing that we were thinking of says, what if I told you that your wallet is being shaped by oil, even if you don't drive? Trump's new Saudi trade deal isn't just about politics. It's about power. And when the power shifts, so does the money. In this video, I'm decoding what this means for women, Black expats, and your next move towards wealth. So it's not just about oil, it's about ownership. Okay, so specifically, what just happened? Trump, Saudi Arabia, oil. Let's break it down. Trump announced a new trade agreement with Saudi Arabia. The deal reaffirms U.S. ties to oil-rich economies at a time when BRICS and their partnership nations are rising. Saudi Arabia has been flirting with BRICS and reducing reliance on U.S. dollar, which is a major red flag for U.S. dominance. And the translation is, this deal may look like stability, but in reality, it's about clinging to control in a shifting global game. Now, this is, I'm hard pressed to see many news outlets put it that succinctly and also show how both sides of the coin are being played. News can be very biased, as you can well see, depending on what your political affiliation is or how the news outlet is aligned. But it may look like stability, but it is really about clinging to control. If the dollar is losing its dominance and other countries with other resources are making alliances, the U.S. is scrambling now to not be cut out, especially now that there's other ways, like they're trading in their own currency or they're maybe trading in gold or Bitcoin. The U.S. is trying to find, or at least President Trump is trying to find a way to make sure that the U.S. does not lose its power as the world reserve currency. And actually, I would say that this is probably one of the best moves to make sure that this doesn't happen, at least in the short term. Okay, the second thing that we came up with, the second part of our notes, the wealth transfer is real. We are living through the biggest wealth shift of our lifetime. Power is moving away from Western influence and Western denominated finance. That means the dollar, that means Western banks, that means the IMF, and it's going towards resource-backed, blockchain-powered, sovereignty-focused models. Trump's deal is a band-aid on a broken system. It really is. But the wealthy are already pivoting to new systems. This is where the feminine wallet gets activated. It's time to learn the new rules. Okay, so what does this mean for the feminine economy? This is a soft power moment if you know how to move. So the old model is hustle, it's 9 to 5, it's save in fiat, which is, the regular US dollar, it's staying loyal to the dollar. The new model for the new wealth means multiple revenue streams, digital assets, which means mobile assets, and lifestyle design. Feminine finance means you are going with flow. You are adding in your own intuition. You are thinking of decentralization, and you're thinking of personal sovereignty. This is not a panic moment. It's a positioning moment. All right, so next we came up with 3 moves to protect and grow your wealth right now. So it said, sis, which I love, is like, sis, don't just watch history, profit from it. Start thinking in assets, not in dollars. I cannot tell you how much this mindset shift of thinking in assets and not in dollars has changed my life. So I'm not thinking about what is the best job that I need to go to in order to create income. I'm thinking about which assets do I need to have the best income or multiple streams of income. I don't think of terms of dollars. I even start thinking in terms of Bitcoin because Bitcoin has now become my new standard. I'm not living in a world that has gotten to that standard yet, but it is quickly moving in that direction. So I'm positioning my mindset first to get ready for the future that more than likely will be. Okay, so the second thing it says to do, follow the energy, not the headlines. So where are BRICS plus nations investing? I would say it's just where is the money going? It's not about black, white, brown. As far as skin tone, it's about green. It's about gold. It's about orange if you're thinking about Bitcoin. These are the things that are not predicated to any nation state or any ethnic background or any gender. It's money really doesn't care. That's why I'm looking for the most diverse, the most culturally acceptable, the most one that everyone has access to. And I'm just putting my fiat, the things that I earn money, my income from, and I put it into what I call the fastest horse. Okay, so you're going to be your own economy. That's the third thing. Design your own economy. So that means building a business. You could monetize your wisdom and learn to move like capital. That is such a wonderful phrase. I never even thought of it that way or putting it that way. A lot of times ChatGPT will take my thoughts or the things that I've already written in my notes and write them in a way that's it's a little bit more clear, a little bit more easy to understand. It helps organize my thoughts that I've already had. I wanted to think myself as I'm not giving you business. I am the business. I am the brand. So if I learn to think like I am the asset and I also acquire other assets, how do I want to construct my life or design my life so that I think in terms of I am the business? And then also if I'm within my family, say I'm a younger person or even an older person who has a family, our family is a business, as in the mom and dad are CEOs. Somebody's also got to be chief financial officer as well. Can we have people, even the kids can have ways where they can learn things about finances and the way a business is run by how you run your household, how you run your budget. What things do you acquire that actually add value or bring in cash flow? Thinking on layers in terms of that for just yourself, if you're single, or if you're in a couple, that's a business partnership, it really helped me to consider, hey, what relationships do I really want to continue to hold on to if we are going in different directions and I want to build my business in a certain way and our values are not aligned. So that helps me going forward of really what kind of friendships, romantic or otherwise, I want to gain. It doesn't mean that I'm only thinking in terms of business, because there's obviously other value that can be added from a relationship that has nothing to do monetarily. However, every relationship, in my opinion, every relationship should be looked at in terms of value exchange, reciprocal value exchange, and not just one person giving, and not receiving in return. Okay, so the final thought and the call to action is that Trump's not thinking about your future, and you should be. Wealth is shifting, the power is shifting, and this is your time to align with truth, trust, and tools that serve your values. So that was the quick little summary of the notes of the things that I was thinking of, especially since there are so many things, so many moving parts from the big players, especially with nation states. And I just can't stress enough that the wealth transfer is going on right now. You don't have to be run over by the train, but you can get on the train. You can get on the train. You can shape your life, start thinking in terms of how you are a business, you are an asset, and how you want to structure and design your life so that it fits the way that you want, and you're not just giving your power and your energy and your value away to someone who does not deserve it. So that was the quick little update I wanted to bring with you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.